When the world thought it had seen it all, Ibrahim Traore has just made an unexpected, fearless move that has sent Western leaders into panic mode. In one daring move, he has challenged the global powers that held his nation in their grip for long, from Paris to Washington. Terror is spreading because if Traore succeeds, the world order could crumble. What did Traore do to send shockwaves through the world? And why are the most powerful nations trembling? Welcome to a story of audacity, danger, and a dream that could reshape the future. Stay with us because this is about to get intense. In February 2025, Ibrahim Traoré, Burkina Faso's young military leader, stood before his nation and revealed a plan so daring it left the world shocked. He announced the creation of the Bank of Burkina Faso, a state-controlled institution that would issue a new currency called the Sankara Franc, backed by the country's gold reserves. Named after Thomas Sankara, Burkina Faso's revolutionary icon, the creation of this currency is not just money, it is an open rebellion against the French-controlled CFA Franc, a system that has bound 14 African nations to Paris for decades. Why is this a revolutionary move? The CFA Franc's rules are no accident. Designed in the colonial era, they ensure African wealth flows back to France. The CFA Franc forces the countries to deposit half their foreign reserves in France, a financial system Traoré calls modern slavery. But can a small nation like Burkina Faso really break free? Traoré knows how difficult it is and has already embarked on plans to make it possible. His ambition didn't stop at just creating a new currency. He has also nationalized Burkina Faso's gold mines, which produce 20 tons of gold every year and are worth billions in global markets. For years, these mines have been controlled by foreign companies from Canada and Europe. They make huge profits and funnel the wealth abroad while Burkinabe communities continue to suffer in poverty. Now, Traoré's government owns them completely, and the plan is to fund schools, hospitals, and a stronger military to fight jihadist groups. But this is where it gets interesting. Instead of working with Western companies, Traoré has invited Russia and China to partner on new mining projects, completely shutting out the West. Will this be the spark that ignites a global showdown? The move is bold, but Traoré is not done yet. In a daring move, Traoré has announced the Pan-African Economic Council, a radical initiative to unite African nations in trade and finance, completely free from Western control. Slated to launch in July 2025 in Ouagadougou, it is a direct challenge to institutions like the IMF, which Traoré blames for strangling African economies with debt. So far, Mali, Niger, and Guinea are already on board, with rumors that more countries may join in. It is already looking like the dawn of a new era for Africa's economy. But is Traoré biting off more than he can chew? The world is watching, and what happens next could change everything. Traoré's move has sent Western powers into a panic, and it's not hard to see why. The CFA franc is not just a currency, it is a system that connects France's financial lifeline to its former colonies. It forces African nations to keep billions in reserves in Paris, giving France huge control over their economies. Now, Burkina Faso's new Sankara Franc could change everything. If Traoré succeeds, it could trigger a domino effect and make others follow. Mali and Niger are already eyeing the exit, and across social media, CF exit is trending from Senegal to Cameroon. If that happens, and France loses its economic grip on Africa, the consequences could be catastrophic for Paris. Then there is also the gold mine takeover. Burkina Faso's mines were cash cows for companies like Canada's Endeavour Mining, who made profits in billions, while Burkinabe locals lived on less than $2.00 a day. Traoré's nationalization slams that door shut, redirecting the wealth into Burkinabe's cash box. But this is not just about money, it is a warning to the West. If other African nations follow suit, like Zambia with its copper or Botswana with its diamonds, the global resource market could collapse. Will Traoré's audacity inspire a wave of resource rebellions against foreign control? The West is already worried and scrambling to stop that spark from spreading. Perhaps the biggest shock is Traoré's sudden turn toward Russia and China. He has kicked out French troops, shut down France's military bases, and welcomed Russia's Africa Corps to fight the jihadist groups. At the same time, China is stepping in with major projects like deals for solar farms, railways, and 5G networks. This is not just a trade shift. It is a geopolitical earthquake. Burkina Faso is now leaning towards global powers that challenge the West. The Pentagon has already seen it as a new battleground, but can Traoré trust his new allies? The West is not happy and tensions are rising. Their response plan is already developing, and it is not friendly. Traoré's charisma is another weapon. It is as powerful as his words. At 36, he is a captivating figure, blending the bold spirit of the revolutionary Thomas Sankara with a fresh, modern style. He speaks in French to connect with the world, while online, fans call him the Lion of the Sahel, sharing viral videos that get millions of views. But not everyone see him as a hero. Western media often label him a Russian puppet or dangerous populist. So who's telling the truth? And what happens if the West pushes back harder? The fight for control of the story is on, and Traoré's right in the middle of it. Traoré's vision is electrifying and could change Burkina Faso, but the risks are huge. Burkina Faso is a country under siege, with jihadist groups like JNIM and ISGS controlling nearly half its territory. In 2024 alone, over 10,000 people died in attacks, and more than 2 million have been forced from their homes. Traoré is banking on gold revenue and Russian weapons to reclaim his country, but the jihadists are relentless, striking villages with terrifying speed. Every day, more lives are getting lost and the pressure is growing. Will his plan work before it is too late? Economically, the Sankara Franc is a gamble that could make or break Burkina Faso. Backed by just a modest 10-ton gold reserve, worth $800 million 0 cents, it is a bold idea. But France's massive 2,400-ton gold reserve shows how small that really is. If global markets reject the currency, prices could skyrocket, hitting ordinary Burkinabe who already struggle to buy food. Traoré's government is working fast to win support, even considering a digital version for crypto traders. But what if citizens and markets refuse to accept it? A collapse could lead to chaos, and Traoré's opponents are ready to pounce. Geopolitically, Captain Traoré's partnerships with global powers bring both opportunities and dangers. Russia's Africa Corps has strengthened his military forces, but there are alarming reports of human rights abuses in Mali, where they are also stationed. China's infrastructure deals promise progress, but they often leave countries drowning in debt. Just look at Zambia's $6 billion 0 cents crisis. A trending social media post has warned that Traoré is trading one empire for another. Then there's the question of democracy. Traoré's promised elections by 2027, but many suspect he's tightening his grip on power. Will his revolution stay true to its promises, or will it become just another authoritarian regime? The world is waiting to see his next step. The social media reflects the struggle. Some users hailed Traoré as a visionary, but fear he is moving too fast. Some users are debating whether Russia's support is a lifeline or a trap. The Burkinabe people are hopeful but are nervous. Their faith in Traoré is hanging by a thread. Many people are wondering if he can deliver before it is too late. The risks are piling up, and time is not on his side. Traoré is not just thinking about Burkina Faso. He is aiming to change the entire continent. In 2023, he teamed up with Mali and Niger to create the Alliance of Sahel States, a pact for stronger defense and economic independence. By early 2025, he also joined forces with leaders like Ghana's John Mahama and Ethiopia's Abiy Ahmed, pushing for a bold idea, a United States of Africa. The vision is about breaking down borders, boosting trade, and creating a stronger, more independent Africa. It is a direct challenge to groups like ECOWAS, which Traoré accuses of being controlled by foreign powers. He calls them pawns of Paris. But the big question remains, can he really unite a divided continent? The dream is huge, but so are the challenges. Africa's wealth is staggering. It holds 30% of the world's minerals, including 60% of all cobalt, 90% of platinum, and huge lithium reserves, which are key for the green energy revolution. But for decades, old colonial borders and unfair Western trade deals have kept African nations divided and weak. Now, things might be changing. Traore's Pan-African Economic Council is fighting for a new future, boosting trade between African countries and ditching the US dollar in deals. Mali and Niger have already joined, with Kenya and Algeria possibly next. This may be the start of a true African superpower, but one thing is clear: the West doesn't want it to happen. Africa's real power lies in its young people. 60% of the continent is under 25, and they're tired of the old ways. From Nigeria's INSAR's protests to Kenya's fights against IMF policies and South Africa's demands for land reform, a new generation is speaking up, just like Thomas Sankara once did. On social media, the energy is electric. Traore's speeches go viral, mix with Afrobeats hits. Hashtags like Africa Rising explode with bold art and bold ideas. But passion alone won't change everything. This fire needs to be turned into real progress. Traore's fight is not just confined to Africa. It has gone global. His bold moves, like creating the Sankara Franc and taking back control of mines, have set the internet on fire. The hashtag Traore Rising is trending from South Africa to Indonesia. A student in Nairobi made a TikTok calling the CFA Franc financial slavery, and it has gathered 12 million views. In the US, Black activists shared Traore's speeches, connecting his struggle to their fight for justice. Even in India, people on social media are calling him the new Gandhi of freedom. The streets are responding. In Paris, African activists broke into the French treasury, demanding changes to the CFA franc, a currency they say keeps Africa foreign control. Meanwhile, in London, 5,000 people marched in support of Africa's freedom, shouting Captain Traore. Even global powers are paying attention. China's government media called Traore a bold leader who stands up to Western dominance. Brazil's President Lula sent him a message of support. Traore has also welcomed leaders like Venezuela's Maduro and Cuba's Diaz-Canel, proposing a new alliance for the global South. But fame breeds danger. Could Traore's global spotlight make him a martyr? No one can tell at the moment. Traore's plans for Burkina Faso are at a critical moment. His biggest challenge is keeping his country safe. Despite arming the military with more weapons and buying drones from Russia, rebel attacks have hit 200 villages just this year. The West is pushing back hard against him. France is leading tough sanctions through ECOWAS, while the US is sending support to nearby allies. Traore's courage inspires hope, but danger surrounds him. Violent rebels, economic struggles, and foreign interference threaten his mission. Can he overcome these challenges, or will the past repeat itself? The coming months will decide. Ibrahim Traore's unexpected move has shocked the world, challenging the powerful West and inspiring millions. Is he the architect of a new Africa, or a dreamer doomed to fall? We want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Is Traore a revolutionary hero, a reckless gambler, or something else entirely? If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe for more journeys into the heart of global change.